limitless. Limitless. Started up, we finished. Limitless. Never running out of energy. Limitless. Keep it going till we finish. Keep it going till we finish. Keep it going, I am limitless.
Yeah, man. Welcome to another episode of the Limitless Today podcast. I am your host, Jarvis Cobb. And man, we are in episode 42. 42, man. I love it. Let's rock and roll, strut and stroll. So today, we are talking about ownership without self-attack. Ownership without self-attack. And this is reframing responsibility as a point of control and not criticism. All right, it's a point of control and not criticism. So while I was studying for this, I came across a term called identity fusion. And it was something that I've been speaking to for years, but I just never had a term to go with it. So identity fusion, I want to read it here just so I don't miss anything. Identity fusion is when humans naturally compress complex experiences into identity statements. Over time, repeated self-descriptions fuse into identity. What starts as a description becomes a belief about who I am. This is called identity fusion, is when a trait or a condition becomes central to the self-concept. A trait or condition becomes central to the self-concept. A couple of examples of this is someone saying, I'm an anxious person, when anxiety is seen as who they are versus something that they're experiencing. Or they might say, I'm the responsible one. So now it's self-sacrifice becomes the identity and not a choice. You know what I mean? Or with one of my experiences or something personal for me is I'm a blue collar guy. I'm not the corporate type. You know, I was born in Wynn, Arkansas. So my family's from Wynn, Parkin, and Earl. Those three cities combined has, I think, 10,000 people total combined. So, you know, my grandfather, he worked on a soybean farm until the day he died. My father has been a mechanic pretty much since he was a teenager. And for a period, I thought that's what I should be doing too. I should be working hard, working with my hands, and that's how I'm going to be successful, or that's what I'm going to be good at. When I started college and things started to get a little tough, I directed my energy towards being a mechanic because that's what I felt like my identity was. I should be working with my hands. My dad did it. His father worked hard. This is what I should be doing. But the only issue was it was a direct conflict with the visions I've had in my mind. Ever since I was in high school, I've had visions of being a millionaire. But I also grew up in a family where if you ask somebody how you doing, the auto response was ain't nothing going on but the rent, which translation just means I'm working hard to pay the bills. Now, I absolutely love the fact that my dad taught me how to work on cars. Like being handy and being able to work with my hands has bode well for me as a homeowner. But for a period of time there, I was limiting my ambitions to fit a narrative or identity that I was comfortable or familiar with. So this is what brings us to the statement that really started my deep dive into this. And it's a statement that I try to push on people and have them think twice about when they say it, especially since this podcast is centered around wellness, especially for the corporate employee, is when people say, I am fat. That, oh, that bothers me so heavy. When somebody just says, I am fat. When actually the real thing is you have an excessive amount of fat. Like you are not fat. You have fat that you could do something about. Like you are not bad breath. You just have bad breath that you could do something about. Like you are not money. You have a certain amount of money. Like you cannot go to a grocery store, tap your head at the checkout line and expect to pay for your groceries. Now, this is the shift I try to get people to have, is to stop saying you are the thing and start saying that you have a thing. Saying you are something gives you the perspective that you're stuck with it, that there's nothing that you can do about it. Saying you have something gives you the perspective that you could potentially lose it. Now, when you start calling yourself certain titles, you start to live that title. You start to breathe that title. You take on that title, and you unconsciously start to fight for that title by saying things like, that's just the way I am, or people like me really don't change. Or if I were to change that, I wouldn't be me anymore. And I truly think it's unfortunate when people hide behind that title, I am fat. Now, I'm not, this is not to shame anybody. Like, if you love where you are and you get checked out and your doctor is good with you and your doctor is enforcing you to lose weight or live a healthier lifestyle, then do you. But I've lived on this earth long enough. I've seen too many examples. I've seen that excessive weight is tied to so many diseases like type 2 diabetes, hypertension, heart failure, lung or kidney and liver cancer. And the list goes on and on. And one of my main mottos is create before the crash. Create before the crash. Don't let life force you to make a change when you are capable of making a change yourself. And you know it. If you're an adult, you know hardship is looming. It's right around the corner. And this could be at your job, in your relationship, in your relationships, in your health. Hardship is going to come. It is up to you to create new habits, create new lifestyle, create change before the issue happens. So now, how do we make that shift? How do we create the change? Look, the battle is always in the mind. That's where everything starts. Your actions are predicated on your thoughts. So what you have to do first is release the rumination. Release the rumination. Stephen Furtick said it. Victory and defeat are in the repeat. Victory and defeat are in the repeat. Whatever you're repeating in your mind is where you're going to end up. So if you're telling yourself, I'm fat, I'm this, I'm that, you are going to end up being that because you are believing that's who you are and that's who you should be. But stop the rumination. Stop that cycle of negative thought. You are not lazy. You've made choices to be lazy over and over, but you're here now. So what are you going to do moving forward? You are not a quitter. You made a decision to quit over and over in certain situations, but you're here now. So what are you going to do moving forward? You are not fat. You have gained excessive fat over time, but you're here now. So what are you going to do moving forward? So how do we move forward? First things first, you forget about the past. Forget what's behind you. And then you move forward, or better yet, strain towards what's ahead. And to strain means to force oneself to strenuous or unusually great effort. Look, this is going to be hard. It's going to be hard to make a change. It's going to be hard to take a new path in life. It's going to be hard to fight against all the stuff you used to do. I'm not making it like it's going to be easy. I'm not just saying it like everybody can just up and do it. But you have the ability to make that choice. You have the ability to create that change. Now, it's going to be some straining. It's going to be some stretching. It's going to be some forcing in order to move forward in a new path. Like, it's going to be a fight, but you have some fight in you. You've been through some challenges and you've come out the victor. Do it again. Get back in the game. Make the decision today that you will fight, claw, and scratch your way towards a healthier version of you. Each thought, each action, each belief will be straining towards the version of you that you want to be. Release the past, man. It is what it is. What you do moving forward today is solely based on your actions of today. You are responsible from this moment forward without holding on to the shame of your past. Now that's ownership. And that's what you can start today. Let's get into root work. Root work is the process of taking accountability and ownership for change, starting with deep diving within yourself. For those that may not know, I started this over COVID to where every time I hear a quote, I hear a saying, I hear something that is impactful for my life, I write it down on a sticky note. So I've placed all these sticky notes, and it's hundreds of them, in this spin, and then I'll pick two for today, and we'll talk about either where I was in my life when I wrote it down, and then some things I've learned from it and have grown from whatever's on the sticky note. So let's pick two. Root work. And we're going to try to speak to these from the lens of our title today, which is ownership without self-attack. Ownership without self-attack. The first one. You are wasting today's strength trying to fight tomorrow's battles. You are wasting today's strength trying to fight tomorrow's battles. I think it's Stephen Furtick. I'm pretty sure it probably was Stephen Furtick that wrote that one. But what this one reminds me of is not living so far in the future to where I'm trying to control something that can't be controlled today. I'm using energy to try to change something or direct something that can't be directed with the energy I have today. My energy for today should be used for my issues today. My energy that I have today should be focused on accomplishing things that I can accomplish today. I can't build the whole brand in one day. I have to write the next episode. I have to study some terms. I have to get better at speaking without saying and like and pauses. These are the things I can do today to put me in position to build the brand of 5 years from now. Same in a relationship. You trying to fix a whole marriage in one day or one event. Small events. How can I win today in my marriage? What little extra thing can I do to set my spouse up? What can I change about how I'm approaching things, how I'm saying things, how I'm reacting to things that can make better communication between me and my spouse? It's the small things of what you can handle today and what you can do today that will lead towards the big dream, big goal, big vision, whatever you want to achieve for tomorrow. But if you're trying to spend your time today coming up with some big solution for tomorrow, you will miss your opportunities of today. How do I tie that to ownership without the self-attack? It's not beating yourself up for not being where you are or for not being where you want to be already. I know that's something that I've fought myself with is, man, if you would have been doing the podcast consistently, you could have been here already. You could have, imagine where you would have been. You started the podcast in 2015 or 2016. Imagine where you could have been if you stayed consistent for the last 9 years, going on 10 years. Or in a relationship or at the job is, man, you should have went for that new position. You should have went for that other job before. Imagine where you could have been if you would have stuck with that. Taking ownership is, this is where I am today. My life played out the way my life played out. How can I take a step today towards whatever I want to accomplish tomorrow without beating myself up for not doing what I thought I should have been doing? That's something that anybody can take. That's one nugget right there. You are where you are. It is what it is. Beating yourself up for it is not going to change what you need to do to move forward. So take ownership. I am where I am. But from this moment forward, I will be doing the things I need to do to keep progressing in whatever area I'm want to progress in. All right, let's go to number 2. God has you on the comeback route so that separation is created and he can get to you what he needs to get to you. God has you on the comeback route so that separation is created and he can get to you what needs to get to you. So tying this to ownership without the self-attack. My experience with the brand is that I will feel like I am on a trajectory and I'm doing things and I'm busy, I'm accomplishing things. Like during when COVID first started, I did 100 videos, 100 positive videos during COVID is what I called it. So between March and October, I made 100 videos, quick, 3 to 5 minute videos of just sending out positivity, sending out a good word, just sending out something that can encourage people. Doing that really gets you some momentum that you are working towards something great. Like, man, 100 videos in a matter of months, that's phenomenal. Like, let's keep this train going. But right after that, I kind of dropped off and I didn't really do much at all after that. Coming out of that, I kind of beat myself up for it. It's like, here you go. Here you, not being consistent again. Here you go, starting something and stopping, starting something and stopping. What I end up learning over time is I put a lot of energy, a lot of focus on that, and I was thinking I was doing the right thing for my family, and I ended up getting into a situation with family to where I almost lost my marriage. I'm so focused on thinking I need to be building this, I need to be doing this, to where I was not focused on what I needed to be doing in my marriage. That led to me just completely not doing any social media for 2 years roughly. During that 2 year span, I spent time with my family. I made my family a priority. I there was a certain level that I started living at as far as being with family, giving family time, showing the love I need to be showing. That now coming back into the brand, I can't go back on that. I can't change that now because I've lived it. I've learned that that is what my responsibility should be. That's the level I should be holding them at. And during that time, God has grown me in a corporate career. So it's like you're not lacking. You're actually building. You actually bought another home and you guys moved to a bigger home, all just off of spending time with the family, doing what I'm supposed to be doing over here and doing what I'm supposed to be doing at the corporate job. So now bringing back the brand, I feel like I feel like that was my comeback route. I was going head steam trying to do one thing. God brought me back, gave me priorities with the family, gave me priorities with my corporate job, and now coming back in, it's all tying together. I'm still growing in the corporate space. I'm still doing well there. My family is still doing well. We're still growing and building, and now I have a brand that I've taken some of the lessons I learned from corporate and implemented it here. I've gotten foundations set up. I've started creating systems. I've started documenting and I started putting everything down on paper to where if somebody were to walk in the door, I can just show you this is how we do a video. This is how we edit it. This is how we launch the video. This is what we do after the fact. I wouldn't have any of that if I didn't go through this corporate stage and learning some of the strategies that a business does. I wouldn't be in the place with my family if I didn't have to come back to this is what's important. This is what you need to focus on. This is what you need to spend your time on. So tying it back to the title of ownership without the self-attack, I can't beat myself up from where I was before. There's no reason to shame myself for going so hard in one area that I almost messed up the marriage, that I almost messed up the family. Taking ownership is now I know what it looks like. Now I know how I need to act moving forward. but I'm not beating myself up about it. I learned that lesson. I don't need to do it again. That's a big thing, is once you learn the lesson, just don't have the need to repeat it. Make the changes you need to make. Change your life. Don't let life force you to change it. And I'm blessed that I'm in a position to where I'm not allowing life to force me to make changes. I'm constantly pushing the envelope. I'm constantly trying to add new skills, add new areas of growth, add new things I can do with the brand, with the corporate job, and with the family, to where I'm just constantly growing. And by the time hardship comes, we've already had some stuff in motion. Let's just pull that card out and let's play that card, and we gonna make it through. Man, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Quick recap: ownership without self-attack, with the identity fusion, is taking a statement and not living that statement, or taking that statement on as your identity. For example, in the corporate space, this is about wellness. So you are not fat. You have excessive fat, and if you have something, you can lose something. You are not it. You have it. Therefore, you can lose it. You are not broke. You have a lack of funds, but you can do something about it. You are not lazy. You've made lazy choices, but you can change and do something about it. You are not the thing. You are not the experience. You are not the event. You've experienced something, and now you can experience something different. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you for tuning into the podcast episode. Be sure to subscribe so you can stay connected with the podcast. I would truly appreciate the subscription, so we can continue to grow the channel and continue to spread some positivity and some light to this world. As I always say, be love, be you, and go be limitless today.
Be limitless today.
Coming to get it and pushing the limits. You better pray we ain't come to play.